Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to The Mixer, the segment on this channel where I give you guys all sorts of detailed analyses from all walks of life. I'll talk about people, places, animals, food, sports, traveling, the whole 9 yards, hence why it's called The Mixer, because I like to mix things up in this huge playlist here with over 200 freaking videos at this point. My god, there is a lot of mixing stuff, man. I'm working on the 300th. It's gonna get there eventually, it's just gonna take a while. And today's topic is one that I'm revisiting because I've already done it a couple of years ago here, but I wanted to redo it in a different setting, you know, with different background and, you know, recording and editing information. Hopefully it's gonna be a little better than the first time around. So yeah, man, it's all good. Ooh, shiver me timbers, drink up me hearties, yo ho, because I'm a pirate today, because I'm gonna be talking about a pirate ship that sunk a long time ago. Okay, no, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. It's actually a very, very famous ship called the San Jose Spanish Galleon. And you know, the thing is that I don't know if that's actually what you call it. It's really just called the San Jose, but I wanted to make it longer to fit down here. It just thinks it looks cool. It was epic, man. This thing was, are you ready? A 1,051-ton, 64-gunned, 3-masted Spanish galleon of the Spanish Armada that was launched in 1698, and it immediately became the pride of the waters as it plundered the 7 seas. Because it was actually the flagship of a group of, it was actually the flagship of a treasure fleet composed, it was the flagship of a treasure fleet, there we go, geez, composed of 3 different Spanish warships as well as 14 merchant vessels. And this thing here, man, really was the pride of the Spanish Galleon Armada army. That is a little bit too redundant there. It was carrying with it quite a large assortment of expensive jewels. You know, you've got your gold, your silver, your emeralds, among other riches. This thing was essentially a very, very illegal smuggler, you know, but still, man, it was carrying a lot of stuff. And it's kind of weird how they carried all of that on their ship instead of leaving it on land. You know, I guess maybe they weren't a fan of banks or anything. Just wanted to take all of their riches with them wherever they went, wherever they sailed, right? This ship was really truly remarkable to see, man. A lot of really cool features, and for the time it really was truly majestic to look at, you know. And obviously there are no photos from back then, you know. The photography was a little complex at the time, so everything was just done by paintings. And even though there are just a few paintings of it, you know, that you can find on the internet, they actually illustrate quite well what this thing would have looked like in its heyday, man. I'm pretty sure that the Spanish army was very, very proud of this thing, as you're gonna be too when you take a look at these photos of it, or rather these paintings of it. You know, if you're into sailing, could have been really nice to take a trip on that galleon there, huh? It just looks so majestic and big and cozy. Although, of course, I have thalassophobia, which is a fear of open water, the sea, the ocean, so I would never set sail on the high seas, especially knowing that I would be at the mercy of the winds. You know, I just, nope, that's not for me at all right there. But anyway, the final voyage of the San Jose was in June of 1708, you know, where tragedy struck. It was actually sailing from Portobello, Panama to Cartagena, Colombia, and that's where it encountered a British squadron near Bauru. And this is where a battle took place which ultimately led to the demise of the San Jose, because the powder magazines on the ship actually detonated, which exploded and sunk it completely. It brought down the people on board and all of those rich treasures, you know, which were taken from South American countries to fund the Spanish King's war efforts. So they were pretty much stolen anyway. And out of the 600 people on board, only 11 survived. It was a totally amazing battle, man. That was epic, you know. Would have been quite something to behold. And still, you know, that's how it is. You know, you take things, you plunder, you take it from other, you know, colonies, and then you get what's coming to you in the form of karma. And then the ship was just there laid to rest with all of those very, very expensive treasures, you know. But that's just it, right? Maybe they weren't that expensive at the time, but well, there's a reason why the San Jose today is known as the Holy Grail of Shipwrecks, because it was eventually found by the Colombian Navy back in 2015. And even though the exact location isn't known because it is very, very deep underwater, it has been found. And, well, The riches on board that ship today are estimated to be anywhere around $17 billion. Bro, imagine you're diving and you stumble across 17 bill just lying there on the ocean floor for anyone to take, because that actually leads us into the next topic. Anyone can take it, you know, like there is a series of different factors here relating to who has the rights to the treasure, who can claim it. You know, there's been an ongoing battle, you know, in the judicial system for years with different countries involved. You know, some have reasons, some don't, but like right now there is a general consensus that if you happen to find a treasure and grab it, I mean, you technically didn't break any laws because it doesn't legally belong to anybody. And I'm going to explain that after I show you guys something else here as a transition. Maybe some more paintings, or maybe even a video, or random photos of a shipwreck, maybe the Titanic, I don't know, something to represent the San Jose Galleon here, you know, so we can go into the next, just go.
Recent pictures are the sharpest ever of a gold-laden shipwreck 3,000 feet deep off Colombia. It's believed to be the Spanish galleon San Jose, sunk by the British in 1708. The wreck was first discovered in either 2015 or 1982, a discrepancy that's just one part of an international controversy over who will get the treasure.
Now, the battle that actually sunk the San Jose was called Wagger's Action because the British squadron was led by Admiral Charles Wagger, you know, as part of the War of Spanish Succession. You know, it was an ongoing battle between the two nations for a while, and it was a very important victory for the Brits, you know. However, there are a few, like I said before, underlying factors here with the treasure that's worth 17 bill, which is the following. So here we go. It was a British ship that sunk the Spanish ship with the treasure, right? However, that treasure, you know, that ship was sunk and the treasure therefore fell in Colombian waters. So right off the bat, there's a little bit of a bottleneck, right? So first of all, the Spanish want the treasure because it was a Spanish ship. They feel that they are entitled to it. However, Colombia feels they are entitled to it because the treasure was sunk in Colombian waters. However, the British, you know, the English, they also want the treasure because they are the ones who sunk the ship in the first place, which I think is the dumbest factor in this entire situation. It's like, okay, it's freaking law now. It's League of Legends. I killed him, so I dropped it. The loot is mine. That's how it works. I'm gonna pick up the loot, you know? It doesn't make any sense at all. To me, it's the most nonsensical part of the argument, but still, that's just to show you how badly they want the treasure, you know? However, you might think, okay, it's a pretty intense situation. Maybe you'll side with Colombia, maybe you'll side with Spain, maybe if you're from England, you'll side with them. However, a lot of the treasures like the gold and silver were taken from a local place in Potosi, Bolivia. Potosi, Bolivia. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. It was taken from a local mine in Bolivia, and there is a tribe, an indigenous tribe. I forgot their names. I think they're called the Kaka, something like that. I forgot the name of the tribe, but the gold and the silver, all of these treasures, the vast majority were all extracted from their land. So they are arguing that the treasure belongs to them because it was taken from them wrongfully in the first place. And that's where I think we have a winner. That's where I think the situation comes full circle, because if you really think about it, they're the ones who have the most reason here, because it was taken from them. They was stolen. Their little mine, their village was plundered, man. It was stolen forcibly from them and shipped off somewhere else. So the treasure and the subsequent $17 billion of revenue belongs to this tribe. I mean, if you really stop to think about it, it does make perfect sense, right? I mean, I don't understand how there can even be any more arguments. However, the Colombian government recently, I guess, has like a cop-out, you know, after they found it with a submarine. They said, you know what, no, nobody gets the treasure. We're going to preserve this as like a national monument. You know, this is going to be a site now for preservation. So this year is going to be one of exploration and not extraction. We're just going to leave it there. You know, let's respect the lives lost at sea and the historical value that these treasures have, which is a very, very fancy way of saying nobody gets it. Like, if I don't get it, you don't get it either, you know? And they are keeping the location of that shipwreck a state secret, you know? It's really hard to find. It's not impossible. But then again, if you go there, there's a very good chance that the Colombian Navy is going to be circling the area and they might kill you. But still, I mean, you can go and look for it if you dive deep enough. However, finding it is one thing, extracting it is another, right? Like, you can't just haul all of that treasure back up to the surface without a lot of work. You know, it's going to take a lot of manpower. But still, man, you know, the justice system, even the Colombian government even was going to offer like I think a 5% share of the treasure, something of the sort. You know, they were going to leave the Colombian parliament was going to leave the SSA with, I think, a 5% finder's fee. Whatever. They refused to share a large amount of the share. Wait, what? What? The Supreme Court of Colombia once concluded that any treasures recovered from the shipwreck would be split evenly between the Colombian government and the explorers. Not sure if that's happened yet, because, you know, the government would go on to later claim the shipwreck as part of their underwater patrimony, so they would now be constitutionally obliged to protect and preserve, you know, the ship itself and all of the sunken contents therein. So as far as I know, nobody has tried to go down there and recover anything, but even just a small fraction of that treasure can set you up for life, man, you know? It's freaking insane, honestly. I'm not entirely sure how, if they today, because it's hard for me to understand how a treasure that's that old can be so valuable, because doesn't salt water, you know, seawater in general corrode certain items, you know? Like, isn't the wreck of the Titanic already falling apart because it's being slowly eaten away, you know? Like, if you go down there and recover something, isn't it just going to be a bunch of crusty remains? Like, is there even any treasure left down there? I don't really understand. But still, that's essentially the story. You know, that was a whirlwind of emotions, man. I think this video got a little bit longer than I expected, maybe even longer than the first time, but I like it, man. I like putting research into these random topics, you know, and sharing them with you guys and editing them in a way that's going to make it look cool, you know. I just hope the lighting is okay today, because I think this side of my body here is a little bit too bright because I'm wearing a black shirt and that affects the lighting somehow, I don't know. But still, the information therein is what is important to the content creation of all the... I don't know. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this, who you think has a bigger stake in this, you know, if you knew about this treasure, and if you didn't, you know, who gets it, huh? Is it Spain? Is it Colombia? Is it England? Is it the tribe of Bolivia? You know, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel, because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too, so you can know exactly what time I upload, eh? And it's all good. It's all good. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen. Wait, no, it's that way. Roll the outro screen that way.